I've ever lived through. I was trekking through the white void when I saw it, something that shouldn't exist in this frozen wasteland. An orange tail in sub-zero temperatures? It was Charmander. He was frozen solid. His tail flame, the very light of his life, was completely out. I was terrified. I tried rubbing his tiny cold body, shouting, "Don't you dare give up on me," but he felt as heavy and cold as a block of ice. I didn't hesitate for a second. I tucked him deep inside my jacket, praying my own body heat would be enough to keep that tiny spark of life from vanishing. Then I ran. I ran like my life depended on it through the storm. I could feel his weak pulse against my chest. We had to reach the cabin now. I burst through the door, gasping for air. Evie and Growlithe were already waiting, and the look of pure shock in their eyes said it all. They knew their friend was in grave danger. I grabbed a hairdryer, anything to get his blood flowing again. I massaged his chest, whispering, "Come on, buddy, stay with me." Growlithe was so worried, he stayed right by my side, trying to help with his own warm breath. We were a team fighting for one soul. I started chest compressions. 1, 2. Don't quit on me, Charmander. Looked at the fireplace. Fire is his home, his blood life. I carried him to the burning logs. It felt crazy to put him so close to the fire. I told Growlithe, "Now, give him everything you've got." He let out a roar of fire that filled the room with a desperate, burning hope. And then I saw it, a tiny flicker, a spark. His tail flame started to ignite back to life. My heart nearly stopped with pure joy. He opened his small eyes and looked at me. It was like he was saying, "Thank you for not leaving me." The relief was overwhelming. He jumped into our arms, still shivering but alive. We did it. We cheated death.
Recovery was slow. I syringe fed him. I had to keep that flame alive. He looked so fragile, but seeing him eat made it all worth it. He was family. Every day he got stronger. That happy squeak, my favorite sound. A true survivor. He loved his reflection. Watching him battle the mirror was hilarious. Feisty little guy. Our bond was unbreakable. He followed me everywhere. My little orange shadow. He wasn't just a pet. He was my best friend. But man, his energy was insane. Life was never boring. He rode the Roomba like a king. The cabin was his playground. Everything was a game. Boxes were fortresses. Then things got heated. Boom! Lesson learned. Fire and cardboard don't mix. Poor Box. Mealtime with the pack. Evie and Growlithe taught him everything. One big family. The toilet paper incident. One fiery sneeze, total disaster. But look at that face. He fell asleep in the mess. I felt his heat rising. He was changing. Quiet moments were the best. His skin was getting tougher. He was growing up. Diving into sofa cushions. He was outgrowing the house. He needed more. Always by my side, but he craved a different heat, something intense. Play fights got serious. Instincts were kicking in. He was ready for the next level.
I can customize your photo with your favorite Pokémon. Check link in description.
Filling the tub with stones. It looked crazy, but I had a plan. Next came the logs, building a volcano in my bathroom, only for him. More stones, more fuel. I needed maximum heat. big moment was near. Growlithe unleashed his flamethrower. Stones turned red hot, intense energy. The stones actually melted, liquid magma in my tub. Don't try this at home. He jumped in with his ducky. Then the air began to vibrate, pure power. The room turned gold. A blinding light began to glow. This was it. His silhouette shifted and grew. My little buddy was changing forever. There he stood, Charmeleon, tougher, bigger, stronger. We did it, buddy.
Winter ended. Spring arrived. My garden was coming back to life. Charmeleon was my helper, clearing the yard, burning the dry wood. Perfect practice. But he was growing fast. I needed a plan, a dragon's home. Days of digging, weeks of building, the ultimate habitat. The sight was truly incredible when Charmeleon and Growlithe combined their powers to melt those solid river stones, turning our peaceful backyard into a miniature volcano flowing with the liquid magma that fire types crave. I watched him with a mix of pride and caution as he sharpened his razor-sharp claws against the volcanic rock, his eyes filled with a new kind of intensity. After a long day of training, he would find his ultimate peace by sinking into the glowing lava, falling into a deep and serene sleep. Suddenly, the ground trembled and a terrifying monster emerged from the grass, a massive pincer that thought our garden was an easy target, but he had no idea that Charmeleon was waiting to test his new strength. A brutal battle erupted, and I saw firsthand how Charmeleon used his sharp wit and raw physical power to counter Pinsir's massive horns, his flames lighting up the yard as he defended his home with every ounce of courage he possessed. With a perfectly timed strike and a concentrated blast of fire, Charmeleon ended the fight, forcing the beast to retreat back into the depths of the earth and proving to everyone that this yard was under the protection of a warrior. Once the dust settled, I tended to his minor wounds and applied bandages to his powerful limbs. Despite his fierce and rebellious nature as a Charmeleon, he remained perfectly calm in my hands, showing me a level of trust that only comes from a true bond. I rewarded his bravery with a feast fit for a hero, a massive steak that he cooked himself in seconds with a quick flash of his breath, devouring it with an appetite that reflected the incredible effort he had put into defending us. I realized then that our backyard had become too small for a spirit this grand, so we packed up the van and hit the road for a mountain journey that I knew would change the course of our lives forever.
We left the suburbs far behind and drove deep into the heart of the Great Mountains, where the air was crisp and the landscapes were more beautiful than anything I had ever imagined.
The van felt like a sanctuary as we traveled toward a secluded lake that seemed like the perfect place to finally find some peace. Setting up camp under the dancing colors of the Aurora Borealis felt like a literal dream come true, and as we sat by the fire roasting marshmallows, I looked at Eevee, Growlithe, and Charmeleon and realized that we had truly become more than just a team. We were a family. But the peace was shattered in a heartbeat when a massive ancient shadow swept over our camp, and before I could even process what was happening, a prehistoric Aerodactyl lunged from the darkness, snatched Growlithe in its talons, and disappeared into the night sky. I threw the van into gear, and we tore down the desert roads in a desperate high-speed chase, with Charmeleon clinging to the roof and roaring in fury at the sky. I could see the terror in Growlithe's eyes as the Aerodactyl tried to escape with our friend, and I knew we were running out of time. In that moment of absolute desperation, a pillar of golden fire erupted from the roof of the van, and through the rearview mirror, I saw the ultimate transformation finally happen. Charmeleon achieved his destiny, evolving into the magnificent Charizard right before my eyes as we raced across the sands. With a massive beat of his new, powerful wings, Charizard took to the skies, letting out a roar that shook the mountains and breathing a stream of intense fire that lit up the desert for miles as he pursued the kidnapper in a high-stakes dogfight for Growlithe's life. It was a clash of titans on the edge of a jagged cliff, but Charizard's power was undeniable. He forced the Aerodactyl to release its grip and caught Growlithe midair with the grace of a true guardian, proving that he would do anything to protect the family that had once saved him from the snow. When they finally landed safely back at the van, I ran to them with tears in my eyes, overwhelmed by the realization that the tiny frozen creature I once found shivering in a field was now a giant winged protector who was ready to carry us all on his back. Charizard might be huge and intimidating to the rest of the world now, but as he leaned his massive head down for a cuddle, I knew he was still the same loyal, warm-hearted friend I rescued all those months ago.
Guys, please comment what you think about this video and what was your favorite moment.
Our journey is far from over, but with a Charizard by my side, I know there is no mountain too high and no storm too cold for us to face together. Thank you for being a part of our story. Please leave a comment and subscribe to join us on our next great adventure.